Are you fully aware of the sacrifices and the costs that it's going to take to get the results that you want? So what I mean by that is oftentimes people come to me and a very common thing is, I want a six-pack. That's what they say. Aaron, I've never had a six-pack and I want a six-pack. Sometimes these people are reasonably lean already, but most of the time these are people who are fairly overweight, are holding on to a fair bit of body fat, and the effort and the sacrifice that it's going to take to get a six-pack is like, they can't conceive, they just can't think, they have no idea pretty much of what it takes to get a six-pack. But these people are determined, I want a six-pack, I'm going to get a six-pack. That I think it's important to realize, you really need to know that to get a six-pack, to be, pretty much what they're asking is to be under 10% body fat. For most guys, for girls, it's a little bit higher. But just as difficult, or if not more difficult for girls. But to get to that point where you've got a shredded six-pack, even to get to the point where you've got a four-pack, an obvious four-pack going on, takes some severe sacrifice. Takes some, you're going to have to really be watching the food you eat. You're not going to be able to drink alcohol for a significant amount of time. You're not going to be able to eat much food for a significant amount of time. You're probably going to be hungry for a significant amount of time. And when you get to that point where you have a shredded six-pack, to get to that point is not a sustainable method. You can get to the point of a shredded six-pack for a period of maybe weeks, maybe months, if you've got genetic predisposition to lower body fat, and if your body can handle that lower body fat without side effects. But to get to a shredded six-pack for most people is very, very difficult and not very fun. It's not fun for most people. There are side effects such as headaches, hunger, lethargy, low energy, loss of sex drive. It takes, to get to a certain leanness, you have to understand that it takes a lot of sacrifice and you have to pass up a lot of things that you sort of might take for granted right now, like having a beer on the weekend. Even 1 or 2 beers on the weekend is probably out of the question. Being able to go eat at a restaurant and get any meal you want is out of the question. Getting any form of takeaway food is probably out of the question. You need to grasp this concept, guys, and understand that, is it worth going to those lengths just to have a six-pack, or is it or would you prefer to have a more balanced lifestyle, but have a very fit and athletic, lean-looking body without being shredded to the bone? There's a point where you can really maintain a very solid physique without going to extremes that may not be what the fitness models look like, but it's going to look pretty damn good. So weigh up those costs, guys. Keep an eye out. There's a really good infographic by Precision Nutrition called The Cost of Getting Lean. Google that. I might put the link down there, but that's a good idea of what it takes to get shredded as fuck. Peace.